Let's see. Hey, everybody, welcome to this meeting number 2 of Listening Lounge session for Electrofans Connect. Once again, this is going to be basically a thing where we're going to listen to producer tracks as part of the Electrofans Connect label Meet Producers group. Today we have Lorna James from the UK. We have JP Lancieri from Paris. We have Jeff Martin from Visors group out of Baltimore, USA. We've got 6 tracks we're going to spin up for you today. And yeah, launching right in, we're going to jump into one of Lorna's tracks. And we're going to be playing, giving a spin here, a track called Awakening that I believe Lorna recently released. And can you guys hear that okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. How's the volume?
Good.
Good. Mm. Yes.
Yeah.
It's it's lovely. I love it. It's a lovely vibe. There's something ethereal, something.
Yeah.
It reminds me of maybe you remember this track which was called "Happiness Happening"
Mm.
from the 90s, late 90s. It's a bit this vibe. The words in these things, I just found it there. So everything will be perfect tonight and forever, blah blah blah. It's a bit of a almost naive song. Um, this one, Awakening, is a bit different because there is a. I was not expecting the African voice coming in the middle. Well, I should have
Right.
Huh.
I should have looked at the artwork, which is amazing, and I would have realized that it's normal that we have this African voice. The contrast between the kind of raw African voice and the more airy background voice is make a nice balance.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
it's very
quality
interesting contrast.
the
Huh?
quality is really, really good.
Mm.
Thank you. You
Yeah.
don't have to be nice about it because I'm here, you know. I mean,
Oh no, hey, by the way, they won't always be. I they know what I'm talking about. They know what I'm
okay,
talking about.
okay.
Yeah, no, that was a solid track, and it was a journey.
It
Like
is.
it's one of those things where we were just on the West Coast, and I really wish I had known this song because it's a great song to drive along the coast with.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it,
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah, you can drive hours on the sunset along the coast.
got it.
Mhm.
Mhm. I like
I,
that
it's
bounce.
It really puts a smile on your face when you listen to this song.
oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
great,
yeah.
great. I had a bunch of people contact me after and say, "Can I remix it?" So
Oh, great.
Oh, I could
the
see that.
remix.
Yeah, I could see it would lend itself to a variety of like reboot interpretations. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Yeah.
that little subtle thing. I like the little bounce at the end. I think you could
Yes.
make like an extended mix for another. Speaking of the 8, 10 minute like things, like for a club where it's just going and going, on its own,
Yeah.
like 12-inch mega mix, whatever, they used to call them. So
The way that broke down at the end, and I could hear like there was that percussive part that's driving it along.
Mhm.
Yeah, I really that was really great. And then of course you could hear the synth bass exactly all the notes. It was great. Yeah.
No, thank you. That's really
Yeah.
kind. Well, yeah, I actually wasn't going to release that track because I didn't think it was good enough.
Why?
And
That's interesting to know because we're all the same. All of my tracks, I always find them bad, and some people like them. We are sometimes we are not our best judges. So, what makes you think it's not a good track?
I
Right.
don't know.
Interesting.
It's funny. I write other ones and I think they're amazing, and other people are like, no, this has got like five different sections in it. You're not writing classical music here. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So, you're not sticking to the rules. I'm like, okay, well, if you can tell me the regulatory body I need to petition in order to change the rules, then maybe we can have a discussion.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I tend not to follow the rules, but I guess I did kind of follow the rules in that one. But yeah.
Yeah, the construction is quite easy to follow. It's not
Mm.
you did not go into crazy movements all over the place, and it's easy to follow, but it flows very well. That's what you said, Jeffrey. You could drive for hours. I could drive for hours with such a song.
Oh,
Absolutely.
The flow is very good. Eh? The
oh, well,
construction, the
I'm glad
arrangement
it made you all
is good.
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these little harps here and there are very nice. Also, you have some different harps sometimes answering the piano, and
Mm.
so it's the whole thing is very nice.
Yes.
Oh, thanks.
part of it reminded me of your style too, JP. I forget where, maybe about a third of the way through. Some of that reminded me of your style too, actually, the melodic, the JP style.
Yeah,
I heard it there.
the this this track from Lorna is more it's more in the easy, not easy progressive, trance progressive. I don't know the genres. There are so many
See,
genres
here
now.
comes one of
So
those
it's a,
subtlety splits where they just gonna take it and totally run
yeah,
with
yeah,
it.
yeah. Just forget it. I
The
mean,
insider's take versus the fan take.
it's more smiley than my tracks, I would say.
Right.
I have noticed your mixes are pretty dark, man. I noticed when I was listening to the one the original one, our original Electrofans JP mix from 2020. I'm like, wow, this is kind of dark. Yeah, it's true. The tone, but it's good. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what would you say in terms of genre? Because I think Beatport called it melodic house.
That's what I would call it, I think.
Could
Yeah.
be, yeah, could be, yeah.
Afro house, would you say it's Afro house? I mean, not you have like the African vocal sample, but I don't know. I'm not always sure either. Yeah, with some of these genres, the organic house is one that's still, as Jerry Chew told me one time, it's like if you hear like birds chirping or bongos, that's the freaking telltale signs of, and that's about it. Animal sounds or chimes or bongos equals organic house. Oh, okay. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because I mean that's got like a real piano in it, so I guess it could be organic
Yes.
too. But it's also 130
yeah,
BPM, so it's definitely not. I mean,
you have some really nice piano tunes, I think, in general, Lauren. I think on the track we spun last time, yeah, I think that had a really nice piano sound too, really a real sounding or piano sound. Yeah.
yeah, well, that is my instrument, so you know,
Oh,
you would,
okay.
Was it a
yeah.
real piano like sample or like a
No, so that was recorded on a electronic piano. Yeah, yeah.
okay.
So just played
Hmm.
into Logic on with a Steinway software
Oh, so it
instrument.
was a
Oh,
real piano.
a
Cool.
Steinway, the best of the best.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're really talking to pros now here. That's great. Super pros.
I'll,
Yeah.
I'll say I'll say a fancy word too. Stradivarius. I just said a fancy word.
oh, nice,
Mm,
nice.
that's so
I could see
Steinway.
JP playing a Stradivarius violin somehow. I don't know, just in my imagination.
I don't play the piano, but you would be surprised that years ago, when I was living in Malaysia, I started to learn the erhu, which is the Chinese violin with two
Oh,
strings,
okay.
and the bow, which is stuck between the two strings. It's very difficult to play it, but
Wow.
I, I try to learn during a few years, and when I left Malaysia, I stopped it. But it was interesting. It's so
Yeah.
complicated to play all these instruments and to start to give them
Wow.
emotion and life. Because when you're beginning, you're it's
Oh yeah,
horrible.
no,
Whereas
yeah,
the piano, or even the first note you play on the piano is a nice piano note, but the first time you play on the violin, it's horrible.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Wow.
tried. I remember
Mm.
trying. Yeah.
Violin's hard.
When I
Yeah.
when I first started playing piano, just a MIDI keyboard for stuff I was doing, not knowing anything about it, I literally would do a note or two on each track, and then I would just compile. It was probably the hardest way to do it, but it would be like, well, I know that note, and I'll just put it on that track and play it, and then I would just cut them up because I couldn't. But you wouldn't know the difference unless you
Mhm,
played
mhm.
piano, I think. You know what I mean? But that's how I did it. And now I can kind of fumble my way through playing piano a little bit. But yeah. It's a means to an end.
Yeah, but you can get, I think that's the thing with modern doors, you can get away with so much more now. Like, you know,
Absolutely.
and especially in dance music, if you pianists, you know, free flowing players, right? So actually, the amount of time I spend going back over the piano and actually getting things, because you can't quantize piano. You know,
Mhm.
if you're doing like a really fast arpeggio, quantize it, and it sounds awful. It just
Right.
completely loses everything that it
Mm.
needs. And the same if you're doing kind of anything more than kind of very basic chords. So yeah, you're always going back and like just putting them in line. It takes a long
Right.
time. So I guess between us, we'd probably take about the same amount of time.
Right. Right.
Wow. In Lorna, any kind of brief notes on what you're thinking in terms of like, that track, just general development or like what you had in mind, like envisioned for that track
Yeah.
working?
Well, yeah, I wrote that track while I was writing my ambient album.
Hmm.
And so when I was writing my ambient album, I was experimenting with layering lots of different kind of ethereal vocal samples. So that's where that came from. And I came across the vocal. I think it's a chant from a sort of a village in somewhere in Southwest Africa. I can't remember where it is, but so I sort of chopped her up, which is awful to her because what the translation means, she's probably talking about half a sentence now, which makes me feel really bad. But you know, so God forbid we get any native speakers. because because I don't think it will make sense. But then I really like the sort of question and answer of the African chant, and then the sort of ethereal female vocal. And I mean, the basic structure happened pretty quickly, but the getting the beat right was probably the hardest part.
I was just going to say that juxtaposed with the beats is a cool combo, and that might have been one of the things that kind of dramatically threw and surprised. It sounds like maybe impressed JP a little bit too on the interflow of the elements. Yeah, layering I think is definitely a key revelation, the secret sauce of like any kind of music, and especially electronic with the production.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we move ahead and let's go to track number 2 here? Okay.
Yes.
All right, let's go to. Okay, so this one is from a label that was sent to me. A guy called Felix Sang. He runs a couple different labels. He runs New House and also a label called Summer Melody. He sent me a playlist of some tracks, and I decided to go with this one, Paul Solari, Perhaps. Let's give this one a spin here.
Yes.
Paul Solari. Ooh.
Yes. So who starts? Okay.
Again, everybody, you're tuned into Electrofans Listening Lounge session number 2, and that was Paul Solari's Perhaps. What did you guys think? Ladies first, we could start off with Lorna, please.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So I really like I thought the mix was very crisp.
Mhm.
And I loved sort of the the way it progressed and the bringing in the melody. And there was a thing that he did sort of three quarters of the way through with the synth, and I've got no idea what it is, but I saw JP going, "Oh yeah," and I thought, whatever that is,
Why
that
am I
thing,
not surprised again?
Right.
that's whatever that was awesome. There were a couple of really reminded me of either M83 from like
Yeah.
12 years ago, and also the 1985. There was some 1985 elements of it, and that's actually two massive compliments, I think. And I thought the bridge, the breakdown, whatever it was probably a breakdown, was just stunning. But I loved, yeah, I thought that was a great track. Really liked
Yeah.
it.
Jeff?
Well, so it years ago I did a bespoke for Ninja Tune, and it was for a car commercial, and that was literally what I kind of went for, was this sound for a car commercial. And so anytime I hear something that sounds like this, my first go-to is commercial use. And so that was like, so that's the first thought was, oh, where can this thing be placed? And that's, but I mean, quality is, yeah, it's high quality in my opinion. I'm kind of very curious about what JP was not in his head about.
Actually, globally, it's a very, very nice track. And the first word, because I write some notes while I'm listening. So the first word I wrote is Chris Person drums, exactly what you said. The whole mix is very nice. Between the percussions and drums, which are very crisp, and the pads and the harps, which are with a lot of reverbs, this makes a nice contrast, which works quite well. The choice of instruments, I liked it very much. All these the various harps and synths and the pads. And then when the vocal came the first time, I said, okay, we are in a kind of deep house vibe. So I guess the track would be in the deep progressive house, if we can label it. I have a little caveat on the vocal, is that it's repeating,
Yeah.
always the same. And I would have, as a producer, I mean, the vocal is very nice, but I would have done something, maybe cut some of it, or not repeating only two times, then one silent time, then two more times. Or I would have done something to avoid this, because at least repeating, I did not count, maybe 20 times or even more. And so sometimes you say, okay, and now what? That's a little. It's not a big problem, but I mean it's a little thing. It's the attention span of the people now is so short that if something
Yes.
becomes too repetitive, they have a tendency to escape. So that's the first little thing which I noticed. And the second thing I noticed is again the vocal when the drop comes in, he makes a kind of a call and response which is a bit odd. Can you replay just at the Kevin? Can just
Yeah.
at the
Do you remember about which part in the song?
Just after the drop, wasn't it?
I know, I know.
You know me, I'm on it. So yeah, do you remember about like what point in the track that is?
So it's a bit more on the right,
Okay, so about
a bit more on the left,
5:22.
a bit more on the left, a bit there,
Yeah,
yeah.
about there.
It's
Yeah, about
probably
there,
the drop.
How's that?
So listen to the vocal. No, you are at the beginning now.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Sorry.
Can you come back a bit earlier at the beginning of the, yeah, here, a bit later, just there, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I like that. It's a nice, smooth, even tone mood right there to me.
No, it's fine. What? Why was I listening something strange?
Yeah, what were you looking for again, JP?
No. I heard something wrong. No, I don't hear it.
I heard that too, JP, and I think it might have been the connection.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you mean like
Unless
the?
it's in this spot here.
That's cute.
Yeah, I like that too. There.
I like the that.
Yeah, it's just it's cool little swanky reverb. I like it.
Okay, so what? Okay,
Did you mean JP like
let's
you
see,
think
but I heard this wah wah and the first time, but not now. So that's probably a problem with the connection, as
okay.
Lorna said. Yeah, so don't know what happened, but that's
Okay.
that's
yeah, did you mean
happens, yeah.
too like repetition? There was a bit too many times repeated that male vocal sample. I could see that maybe. Of course, I think that a lot, and that's one reason that I paused that track like last time too. But I learned my lesson. I will never touch that pause button. It's like a kid. I will not eat before the meal is ready. Kind of things.
Yeah, but globally is very, very cool track.
Yeah.
Did anyone understand what the vocal was saying?
No, I didn't.
Was he saying anything?
Was it like perhaps somehow or something? I don't know.
Does it matter?
Let me listen again and see if I can.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Perhaps somehow. I don't know. Anyway, not that it matters. I was just interested.
No, but this is
something
typical...
something mumble somehow. I think Lorna's right.
Yeah.
But you can hear, but we cannot hear. So it's
wow.
So with music, so with dance music in like this, when you have that vocal part that's kind of chopped and put in how many ever measures, is that like, are people using loops? Or
yes,
are they recording their own vocals? I mean, it's impossible to tell, but I am curious.
Definitely loops probably there.
Most of the time they are using loops.
Yeah.
You can record yourself. And the loops, what they're, so whether it's already a loop which is processed that way, whether it's a loop which could be a female loop that they turn the pitch down quite a lot and change the formants. Kevin, you might not know what is the formants, but these are some settings you can change the vocal to make this kind of like he's singing in kind of a box or strange voice, which was very trendy 10 years ago in the deep house music.
Yeah, effects wise, I know that. I mean, I used to spend hours tweaking different sounds on synthesizers on a couple of Rolands I had, and I still do somewhat amount of editing when I do my podcast. Occasionally, when I do my own vocal, like track spiels, I put like some different reverb. So I know what you mean about effects. You can do quite a bit with effects processing. I know.
Yeah.
Ask Cher.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Was she the original auto tune? Because she didn't really need one with a voice like hers, I guess. But that's
Yeah.
my friend's pet peeve for, and I kind of agree with him for, it's like people, kids today, kids today, when in doubt, just the auto tune thing. He's got a point with that. You can only correct so much lack of talent, although albeit that's subjective, but lest I
Yeah.
digress down that path.
It's a
So
vocoder, isn't it? It's a vocoder.
yeah,
So
those kind of, yeah,
mm.
it's a cool
But
track. Yeah, I think
Yeah, I
to
like
me,
it.
genre wise, it's kind of straight down the middle, progressive house. But
Yeah.
it's a cool. It was the best one I thought out of the my favorite out of like six or so that Felix has sent me. I thought it was a
okay.
pretty solid track, balanced track too. It's like wines, right, JP? Like a solid balanced bouquet. So
What was the BPM just out of it? Was it like 118, 116, 118?
I don't know. What do you guys think, actually?
I, yeah, I wouldn't 115. I don't know. That's in fact, I'm so bad at this. I would have never guessed, Lorna. I would have never guessed yours was 130. Like I thought it was slower.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
130.
so it's yeah. It
Mhm.
depends on like the melody sometimes and like
Yeah.
where it has you, you know? So
Mhm. Mhm.
I need to get up on my BPM too. I don't usually all the
yeah,
producers. I know that's a basic one there, but the producers. I imagine the DJ like Pioneer and tools because so you can like match like one track,
yeah,
the outro and intro that you're gonna see that. So they probably have to sync that. Sync, that's what sync is, right? You have to
yeah. Well,
match
when
that.
we do DJ sets, we literally try to mix on the fly and try not to use that just because
Hmm.
I could set it up the way I just plug and play and hit a button, but it's not as interactive with the crowd. It's just yeah. So we
Hmm.
You
try
are
to do it.
you are an old style DJ. You
Yeah. Oh, I
still
no no
you
like, yeah
still
yeah
beat matching. Yeah, yeah.
yeah
I
yeah.
used
Well,
to,
as a drummer, it comes pretty natural to beat match. So
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
yeah
But the younger generation, they don't know because all these tools now they are automatically bit matching, which is perfectly fine. I mean, I have nothing
yeah
against that. Even Carl Cox said it's you know who is Carl Cox, Kevin, I guess.
Oh,
yeah
sure,
yeah
yeah,
Big, of
yeah
yeah.
course.
definitely
Even I
Even
know
he
him.
said, say, okay, let's use we have new tools because when okay, we don't need to bit match anymore, so we have more time to do some other effects and play on other things
yeah
instead of spending 30 seconds to properly bit match. It's just the
Yeah,
progress, huh?
I think a lot of
yeah
the big guys, they really go, which is my style too. And I think I've read years ago, actually the British style for music processing, and I agree with that too. Like they don't give a damn about whatever. It's like as long as the end result gets to where they want to go. If it sounds
yeah
rich and atmospheric and cool, they don't really care. I read years ago that was a British recording engineering style, and I definitely am a subscriber of that. I think a lot of the top guys think, yeah, as long as the mix is cool and the crowd is into it, whether it's Hernan Cataneo or Carl Cox or JP Lancieri or any of those famous names.
yeah 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 yeah. We did 2 years ago. We did a tour with Paul Oakenfold,
Oh yeah.
and we yeah,
Are
and
you
he
serious? Whoa.
yeah he he
He's done everything. This
Man, I'm rubbing elbows with some big names, man. And we're gonna get to the Sugar
Jeffrey.
Cubes and Bjork. We have ties to
well
Bjork. I mean, we're getting up there, man. So
well well Oakenfold like made fun of us for beat matching. He said engage the audience more. He's like that's
see, yeah, okay.
and I'm like okay. I mean, and he knows how to beat match. He has
Of
to.
course he does.
So
Yeah.
so I can't fault him for that. It's like so
Wow.
Even David Guetta, he explained a few years ago.
Yeah.
Now he's playing. He's more. He's playing. And a few years ago he had a problem. He lost his prepared tracks on his USB, so he had to quickly drag some tracks on USB, but he did not have the time to prepare them on the record box, which is the software normally we use to prepare the track. And he said, "Oh, I had fun. It reminded me the good old days when I was playing on vinyl because I had to beat match and to do the. So he just had fun doing it, but because he knew he was DJing before the automatic beat matching existed, so he
yeah
knows very well how to beat match. Huh?
Wow.
Actually,
yeah
He was
worst.
actually on vinyl. Wow, it surprised me a
Yeah,
little
of
bit.
course, yeah. Why?
But no, I don't know.
They were
He's good. Yeah, he's good.
he
Mhm.
started. He's 57 now. He started. He was about 20 years
Hmm.
old, so he started in the
Well, that
what?
would fit. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, at the time there was no CDJ. Huh? It was
Us
only
older
vinyls.
folks.
yeah.
But
We had
the
no
worst,
choice. You had to learn.
I
yeah, the
actually
worst.
originally a DJ on vinyl too, man, back in the I could reveal my age, but man, when I was a kid, I mean, I was just spinning for friends on the the 45s. I know millennials or
Oh, the
Z,
45s.
whatever.
Yeah.
I think they're well, they know about what vinyls are because vinyls have the cool factor, I think now. So
Yeah.
that's the
Oh, yeah.
16, 18-year-old Gen Z, whatever the hell they call them now. It's like they're probably all in the hip aspect of the because the vinyl are hip. So JP, have you ever DJ'd and doing vinyl or Lorna or
No, when I was a student, I did a little bit, but then I stopped and I came back to music much later, and I directly went to CDJ. But the CDJs, when I started on the CDJs at that time, they still did not have the beat matching, so I had to learn to proper
Yeah.
do the beat match.
yeah, I would need to do that too. And I
Maybe
want to
maybe
get
you
like
remember the CDJs 800. You remember
Yeah.
that, Chef? Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So at that time they were the top of the top. Now when you look at them, it's really the
Yeah.
basic.
that's where I need to start on those. Yeah.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
far too young to remember the vinyl.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
okay.
uh,
No,
uh,
I just never DJ'd in vinyl. No, I've
I
only
would not be able to do it actually. It's a technique. It's
It is.
very
yeah.
nice. I
Well,
admire people who do it, but I cannot.
I did
Yeah.
try back in the day with some old rave tracks, and it sounded atrocious, and I never tried again. But I have learnt to DJ since then, but only using electronic stuff, not not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have the
Software.
patience for it now. I don't think.
Yeah, it's still better for me when I say for me, DJ, when I was a kid, I just mean drop the freaking needle on whatever the 33 or whatever the single track was and not any fine art of it. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We have another
Track number
UK
3.
track here.
Yes.
Yes. Let's
Cool.
see. Let's share a screen here and actually, yeah, there we go. Yeah, this was sent to me from Jay from Email Recordings, another UK guy here. And yeah, let's see what his notes are on this track. He says, here's my very own track produced some time ago, but I'm keen to have others' opinions on it. I was going for a late 90s, early 2000s trance vibe with it. Speaking of that again, track is called Something Meaningful by Electromagnetic Impulses and was released back in 2012. Believe it or not, let's give this one a spin.
Yeah.
Hands in the air vibe.
Hey, hey. Oh,
Nothing
where's
happened.
Kevin? Where's
I don't
Kevin?
I don't know. I don't know.
Kevin, where are you? Kevin, stop it. Kevin, Kevin. Kevin,
I think he
stop it,
stepped.
stop
I
it.
think he stepped away.
Yeah, stop it, Kevin. Yeah, yeah. Stop. Yes. Stop it.
Oops.
Oops. Ah, okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, you came just
He just
30 seconds too late.
he just went off into the corner to have a bit of a dance. He was too embarrassed to do it on screen.
That's
Right,
what it
Kevin?
was. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Hey, we're
Hi,
back with
buddy.
Electrofans Listening Lounge session number 2. We have joined by Nubbins, the Electro Wonder Dog. We also have Felix here from My
Hi,
Night
Felix.
Label. Yeah.
Hi.
So let's see. What'd you guys think of that one, Jeff?
So that at first it sounded like some old industrial music I used to listen to, and then it got
Yeah.
into the more melodic part, and then yeah. But I was like, hey, is this going to be some really like much more hardcore? But it got pretty melodic. I like how it trails off at the end. I'm a big fan of fades. And then there's that key line in the background that's just kind of like padding it there. Like, yeah, it's nice. It's a nice track, yeah. But it reminds me of some really old stuff.
Yeah, definitely. It's got that vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking this. I could very well have heard Paul Oakenfold. You were talking about Paul
Hmm.
Oakenfold,
Yeah,
your friend Paul Oakenfold.
yeah,
He could have played on a Perfecto, one of these Perfecto compilations, mixed compilations, like in the
yeah,
late 90s, early noughties. It was really the vibe of this trance. Yeah, it was the trance at that time. Oh, I counted, by the way. I used the BPM. It's 136 BPM. How do I know it?
Wow.
Not by I just tapped it on the site which is called beatsperminuteonline.com.
Okay.
So you have
nice.
to, yeah, you have to tap, and after some time it gives you the right BPM.
That's nice.
Yeah, yeah,
136.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome. I'm sure
Cool.
Jay will be from email recordings will like hearing that. He thinks that it could be side by side with Paul Oakenfold. Yeah, I agree. The old school vibe was definitely there. And one of the things I like was how you had toward, I think it was about 5 minutes or so into the track. You had the one layer, like the spacey layer kind of doing the kind of like this kind of thing. It's like that was cool how those layers were kind of, and the other
Yeah.
layer coming back in. I was like, it's a nice vibe, old school kind of track. Yeah. Lorna, what did you think?
Yeah, so when it first started, I was thinking this is kind of like early 90s Aphex Twin. This is
Yeah.
what it's
Mm.
thinking of, yeah. And then and then it went into it sort of built a bit, and I thought this sounds like Grace, It's Not Over, which was a big track in the UK for a while. Like, I
Remember
think that
very
was
well.
95, 96, something like that. I think that was probably the chord progression. And then, I mean, that track took me from 2 a.m. in a really sweaty club in 1996 to 4 a.m. So when it, so
Yeah.
literally, I mean, I time traveled from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. We went to where there was the breakdown, and it came in with the bass, and then with the horn, and then the arpeggiator, and I just thought, yes, this is awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Yeah. He's got a
I would
range
have
of
never thought it
stuff.
was 2011. I would have never thought it was 2011.
No.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Jeff. Totally. Yeah, it does have, just as he said, like that old school rave party theme. And I could
Even
see Paul Oakenfold.
yeah, even the choice of the instruments reminds of the late 90s, early noughties.
Yeah.
The synths he's playing already existed probably in the late 90s. The sounds that he's been using in this track. But globally, it's very well combined together. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice one. Yeah. 2012. You did a good job of simulating that late 90s rave kind of vibe. Yeah. He's got Jay at Email Recordings has a range of styles and sub labels from his label family. And also we just put on electrofans.com too, right under the music tab, a direct link to their radio player, and it's got a lot of cool stuff. Exactly, that track may be in there. If he doesn't have it in there, I'll tell him to add that track in there.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
hear. I love it because you can open up. I put some code in there so you can tap it and open up the track list and the now playing links that he's playing on the radio station in a new link, and it's really cool. Yeah, check it out sometime if you're into rave and like trance. Right on electrofans.com in the music tab, a link to his. It's called EDM Addicts Radio, but it covers a variety of trance, dance, and EDM stuff. Yeah, Felix, welcome. And I don't know, I think maybe you came in right in the middle of that track. I don't know how much you were able to hear that. Did you have any thoughts
Uh,
on that?
um, I can't give a lot of comment for now because I just sort of arrived late, even though, yeah,
Okay,
the
sure.
time schedule would be actually this time. I know
Yeah,
it's 1 hour earlier, isn't it?
yeah, it's about, what is
Yeah.
it, it's 5 a.m. So Felix is in Hong Kong. I think it's about 5
Yeah,
a.m. for you in Hong
it's
Kong.
Wow.
5 a.m.
Yeah, so yeah, as we discussed earlier, there's never going to be one perfect thing. I'm thinking I may, for one of our next meetups, I may try on a Saturday because another music group I follow, they do their stuff on a Saturday, which would mean that, because I know for the folks in Asia, it's tough. Of course, that's there's never going to be one set thing, and even 10 p.m. Maybe if people in Europe, maybe is that too early or too late? So and doing rolling them with two different meetups is the ideal way to go. Like last time, Felix joined, we had like a meeting 1B, but that just got to be a bit too much work to put in to kind of repeat. And I was kind of like, but I might try experimenting with a Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
long as I can drink wine, I don't mind.
Wine. Yeah. JP. So yeah,
French
it's all about the someday
wine,
we've
of
got to
course.
have that wine.
Oh,
We've got to have that wine party. Yeah, for sure. I know. Yeah, let's dive right in and jump right into track number 3 here. Let's see.
Oh,
Actually, Jeff, so this is Visors featuring, I'm gonna really give this a shot here. My Icelandic is kind of, I don't know, Poor Eldon, Einar Earned from the Sugar Cubes, which is Bjork's original band called Erratic. Let's give this one a play here.
I might be a man of many modes, but never call me erratic. Never call me erratic. I am a man of many modes, but never call me erratic. Never call me erratic. Might be unstable, might be wonky, might be wobbly, might be unsteady. Never call me erratic. Never call me erratic. uncertain, might be shaky. Never call me erratic. Might be Costa, might be giddy, might be fluid, might be fickle. Maybe cranky, maybe choppy, might be rocky, rickety, mutable. Never call me erratic. Never call me erratic. Never call me erratic. Never call me erratic. Might be a man of many modes, but never call me erratic. Unstable, wonky, wobbly, unsteady, unsettled, uncertain, shaky, rickety, mutable, unstable, inconsistent, giddy, fluid, fickle, cranky, choppy, changeful, flimsy, erratic, never erratic.
That's great. All right, back with Electric Listening Lounge Session 2, and that was Visors featuring Poor Eldon and Einar Orn from the Sugar Cubes and Erratic. So, JP, start off with you on that one. What's your take on that one?
Well, I say we are on Electrofans, but it's not really an electronic track.
Yeah,
Right,
I was going to
right,
say, I
right.
like how Jeff or someone had actually tagged that as indie rock, which
It is, yeah, it is. It is. It's kind of rock. Yeah, it's very nice. I mean, it's very powerful. It's very well mixed. It's very raw.
yeah,
I
raw,
love it.
definitely. Yeah. Yeah, I think it is electronic element, and it reminds me kind of like what New Order, a lot of
Sort
some of the
of,
stuff
yeah.
that New Order has been doing, because they're really were traditionally a rock, alternative kind of rock kind of thing with act, but they did a lot of, I love a lot of their electronic stuff, and
Oh yeah,
like electronic with Johnny Marr and um what's the
Bernard
singer's guy,
Bernard
Bernard
Sumner. Yeah,
Sumner, yeah. Literally the name of their act is called Electronic. Kind of reminds me of that. Definitely edgy and raw, I
yeah.
thought. Yeah. Lorna?
So the one word that came to mind for me was quirky. I thought
Yes.
Yes,
really,
yes,
it's a
definitely.
really
Yeah.
quirky track,
Mm.
Which
and
fits the whole Sugar Cubes
Yeah.
motif
yeah,
from if you
yeah,
guys know
yeah, of
about
course.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And it was, they had some sort of synth wave elements in it, and it
Yeah.
was very kind
Yeah.
of 80s. And I really like the build. But interestingly, I thought they actually followed quite a lot of the rules of some of the dance genres. So, the breakdown, the bringing in further elements later on, and then you get the clap. So one of my very good friends always says, "Wait until the end to give them the clap."
Right.
Make
I
that
love
make of
that.
that what you will. But that's it. That's quite sort of housey, really.
Yeah. I like
So
how that it comes
Yeah.
in toward the end, that
yeah,
other like layer. They did introduce that layer in. Yeah.
but yeah, definitely quirky, but I liked it.
Yeah, GP, there is an electronic, there's synth wave, like a synth wave kind of arpeggio kind of
You're right.
grind in there. It's
You're right.
basically, they are basically totally alt rock. Yeah, I remember it takes me back to years ago, and I've listened to some of the old Sugar Cubes albums in the 80s. Yeah, it totally right out of that reminds me of that. Yeah. How did this come about, Jeff? Well, actually, Felix, will get your
Yeah,
feedback
yeah.
real quick first too.
Yeah, I mean, from the last session we had, there's also a few Visors track hasn't played, and we already know how the vibe they are trying to creating. So yeah, I'll agree. That is, I would say it's wacky more
Yeah.
than like
Yeah. I think
I
the
would
guys would
say.
agree, right?
Yeah, normally I'm not into that kind of like vocal putting like the accents, but I would say for this track I don't mind it, and it delivers that kind of like 80s synth wavy kind of
Hmm.
style infused with such like you guys have said a little bit of rock elements. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so Jeff, how would I'm curious, still a little bit curious too, like your association with these guys, and is it from the label Icons Creating Evil Art, or like how that came about and how you guys some thoughts on the track? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so back when I had this other band that was called the Heavy Coats back in the 2000s, we played Airwaves, and we played Iceland Airwaves. And when we played that, I ended up meeting Einar and Thor back then, and I just kept in contact. And then when I started Visors, Thor was the first one I contacted for his guitar sound. And then we talked to a bunch of people to sing on it. The first person we talked to was Sean Ryder from the Happy Mondays, and then his timing wasn't right. So then he asked Einar to do it, and it just kind of came about. But like all the stuff that we do always takes years. I mean that probably took two
Mm.
years to finally finish, but and release. So, but
Wow.
yeah, that was just from meeting them years ago and just staying in contact. Yeah,
Wow. And I'm not sure, not to be critical or whatever at all, but that you even call that singing either. I think I
yeah,
might agree. It's like that it just don't call me erratic. It's just kind of like speaking, right? Almost
yeah.
like
Well, even back when the Sugar Cubes were, being offered deals with labels, Einar told me that most of the labels said if they got rid of Einar that they would sign the Sugar Cubes. And so the Sugar Cubes just didn't do that and finally did get a deal, and then did what they did, which was awesome.
I was going to say it is quite a departure from actual Bjork on
Yeah.
vocals, for example, but that's yeah, it fits their totally edgy, raw kind of. I think I put in my mini review of the release on electrofans.com. The blog was slightly punky. I think that
Oh yeah.
hopefully that's a fair assessment too.
Yeah, yeah. It's well, and the nice thing about it is like those guys are sort of like Icelandic royalty.
Yeah.
So like the press it's the best press we've ever gotten on any release.
Yeah,
So
I've been seeing that. You've been dropping a lot of that. Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah,
Congrats. Yeah.
thank you.
Because I mean, when was the last Sugar Cubes release? It's been at least a
Yeah,
decade, right? 10, 12 years.
92 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the fact that you're a part of that is pretty freaking amazing, actually. I mean, seriously. Yeah.
It makes me happy.
Wow.
I can
Yeah.
kind of hear that song being played on some kind of like quirky independent film. Do you know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
it's the rolling credits,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Hopefully that's what happens.
Yeah, well, exactly. Let's manifest that.
Yes,
Like
thank you.
a Tarantino film, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could maybe see. Yeah, exactly. Like during a certain portion of a film, like certain scene or something. Yeah, it would fit. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what, but a variety of scenes in a film I could see. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
one of the reviews called it the funniest song of the year. And
Mhm.
and I don't think anyone wants to be called funny, but when it comes to this one, I'm okay with it. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I forget what Lorna was saying exactly, but something she was saying as she was saying it made me think, yeah, I think all the guys probably imagine during for a person hearing the track, didn't expect that to be taken seriously. I think the whole thing, like he's like, call me this, call me that, just don't call me erratic. I don't think,
Exactly. Yeah.
I think it was
And
in
and
jest, kind of lighthearted, not to be taken too
Yeah.
seriously,
There's a
right?
well,
heavy dose of irony in the lyrics.
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah, it
that's
is.
so Thor sings the chorus. So Thor actually sings the chorus.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. But what I thought was really funny about that was the working title of the song was erratic because I felt like the song was all over the place, thinking
Yeah,
it would
yeah.
eventually take on its own name from the lyrics. but he wrote the lyrics to the song title.
Oh.
So yeah, so that so there you have it. Fun.
That's a funny story when you'll be interviewed about this song later. That's a funny story to recall.
Yeah.
It's an interesting
Yeah.
story for the journalist for
Definitely.
the
Yeah.
blogs. Yeah,
Yeah, by Rolling Stone or Billboard magazine, right?
exactly.
I could even hear like a slight Björk interjection in there somehow. Or she just singing, like interjecting. So, Jeff, you say that Björk actually dropped this track at one of her DJ sets in Reykjavik
Yeah.
maybe earlier this
Yeah.
year.
The last one she did in the capital there. Thor and her used to be married, so he just took the track up to
Oh,
her
okay.
and she played it that night, which was not even the finished demo, but she played it
Hmm.
anyway. So, or the finished product, but so she played
That's
it anyway, which
cool.
is cool. Yeah, it's
I would
fun.
love to see a clip of that at the live spin. That would be so
Oh,
cool. Björk
that would
is
be cool.
one of the most
Mm.
amazing,
Yeah,
eclectic, original, colorful, vibrant performers. And yeah, she's had her forays into electronic stuff too, similarly, I would say to like New Order and Electronic and those guys.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's plow right ahead and dive in track number, so
I've
track number 5. Yeah, let's see. This one is called Chase the Sun, and it's from um Aiden K from Soul Candy Records. This is
Made in K.
South Africa that I guess is quite popular, this label that I hadn't really actually heard of. So let's give this one a spin here.
Made in K. Okay.
Not too late to chase the sun. Just you wait, change is gonna come. Not too late to chase the sun. Just you wait, change is gonna come. Not too late to chase the sun. Just you wait, change is gonna come. Not too late to chase the sun. Just you wait.
oh
Okay, look back with Electrofans Listening Lounge session number 2. Again, that was Aiden K's Chase.
Aiden K. Okay, I was looking it up. Sorry, I spelled it wrong.
Yeah, again, that's on a label out of South Africa called Soul Candy Records.
Oh, there it is. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Lorna, what'd you think of that one?
Yeah, so it was a shorter track that we've had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say that straight away. It's
Yeah,
just over
yeah.
3 minutes. Yeah.
So for me, I mean, great sort of sundown track for, you know,
Yeah.
a Balearic sunset. Again, yeah, probably I would say this is. Sorry, I'm obsessed with trying to put in everything in categories. So for me, this is kind of organic house, I want to say,
I think
maybe.
you could fit into that. Yeah, this one I think
Yeah,
you could, I'd say too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would have liked a little bit more variation on the vocal, maybe. So maybe
Mm.
Yeah, me
some
too. Yeah.
harmonies on it. And maybe a little bit more variation in the middle. I think there was a symbol in the middle of there was a 16 bar and another 16, or maybe it was, yeah, 8 bar and 8 bar, but maybe it was, yeah. Anyway, I lost count, but
Mhm.
in the middle there was a symbol, but I would have liked a bit more development in the middle of that. But you know, good track, nicely mixed. And you know, I could see exactly where it would fit in a set. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the horns, I think maybe
Yeah.
Yeah,
toward the
yeah.
end too. I think they really contributed well to that sunset kind of vibe. Yeah, Jeff.
Yeah. So there was back in the day, back in the 90s, there was a little club here in town called Sonar. And it was, you would go there and they would play really great, like chill music, like that reminds me of this, but at, like at a low volume so you could actually talk and hang out. And
Oh, that's
I would
cool.
swear that this song was playing back then. Like that's kind of the vibe I got from it. Very, very cool, chill, like track to kind of hang out with your friends. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a deja vu, like nostalgia vibe there. It sounds like a lot of their tracks. To me, it's like totally deep house. Like if I hear that, I'm thinking deep house to me right away, like genres. JP, what do you think?
About the genre, I don't know. So maybe this is
Oh,
Afro
that
house. I
or
don't
the whole
know.
overall
Would
global
this be
impressions.
Afro house because it's very African this
Yeah,
style?
I
yeah,
think I hear
I do
some of
think.
that maybe with the cymbals or like the percussive elements, maybe a little
I,
bit.
Yeah.
I, I
Can't
actually
really.
when I heard it, the vibe quite quickly remind me of, you know, this song Yeke Yeke by Morricone. Yeah, so it
Mm.
used to be a huge hit, but at the time it's uh,
I
you
think you
remember
could
this?
be right. You could be right, Afro. And
Yeke
actually,
Yeke. So this was very yeah, very African, and the the thing that I noticed exactly the only thing which I noticed exactly like Lorna is about the vocals. So the vocals are cool. They've been it's obviously taken from a sample because they have been accelerated. The vibrato is a bit too fast, which is gives this kind of uncertainty in
hmm.
the way it's singing. But I like it. It's a very common trick. The fact that the vocal are repeating is often due to the limited amount of samples that are in the sample pack. There are only like 4 samples of this person singing this, so the composer has to repeat it, and it takes a lot of skill to try to make something new with only these 4 sentences. And this is exactly like I said in the one of these previous tracks. This is a little bit this too much repetition. Apart from this, which is my not negative point, but I mean my little criticism. The rest of the track, I really enjoyed it. As I would happily go out on the beach and drink
Yeah.
a mojito, with chatting with my friends and
Yeah.
vaping like this.
Yeah.
I
So
agree though.
Exactly.
As is okay, but yeah, more unless they had really developed that more than a little step further, I would not want to see it maybe go more than 3 minutes. I mean, I think it works well there for what is, and I think it could maybe go under actually the Afro House genre too with the beats. And I was going to say too, actually, from because this label, Soul Candy Records, is out of South Africa, so they literally are African. So maybe
Yeah.
obviously,
literally they could go under Afro House too, being out as they're from South Africa. So
Yeah.
it reminds me too, I've had on the
I mean
docket
this
for
kind.
months. Maybe in September, October, I've had the idea of doing like an entire deep house South Africa mix special. I'm hoping I can get like as many as 10 different South African. If you guys know any South African producers, maybe keep them in mind for this because it seemed like for me to me for some time that there seems to be a real heavy focus on and they do it pretty well out of South Africa, deep house. So we're trying to
Mm.
do a special maybe in the next couple of months. Look for that in our SoundCloud, yeah, or YouTube, yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so we could dive in.
Yeah,
Oh, Felix, sorry. Yeah,
yeah,
let's get your take on that. Yeah.
yeah. I will also say this is more leaning towards Afro House, and what
Mhm.
you have mentioned that a lot of more South African Afro House vibe. Yeah, I do come across with Nigeria Deep that they have released a South Africa based compilation
Oh,
about quite a few months ago.
oh, they already beat me
So
to it. Damn.
yeah, they already had that, and
Oh, we're gonna
before
do it
that,
anyway. The
yeah,
Electrofans
and before
version.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And before that, I also came across like Cornelius from South Africa also releasing some great deep and also organic house material. So it is not
Okay.
it's already starting a lot. And for the track, yeah, and again, yeah, I do agree that it has that kind of summer beach vibes, which is so chill and a little bit jazz infused, which I
Yeah.
really like the track. But one thing I would also like to add is that it could add a little bit of like accented percussion, not necessarily like a
Hmm.
clap, but something more accented that can grab the attention. And I also checked outside. There's there is an extended version, so
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
it
there
also
is.
lacks that kind of like accented percussion to draw the attention. It's because it's so chill.
I
Yeah,
think I
it
could
is.
see what
Yeah.
you mean there. Yeah, as like a backbeat kind of thing, but an extra layer or additional enriching development layer under the percussion would kind of keep it going. I could see, I think what you mean there. Yeah.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot when writing about like movement of the song. And
Hmm.
so like at different parts, maybe something else comes in literally just to move it along. So yeah, that I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know JP is a master at track development, being one of our resident. That's a great
What?
look there, JP. No, you are, man. You're as a resident artist coach, and I know Lorna has quite a bit, is really good at that too. And Felix, all you guys as producers, yeah, Jeff, production development. So, you know, that's good with JP. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, let's see. I think we have one more here. Let's give this one a shot here. And yeah, so this one is from a guy, another UK guy called Dean Phillips. I think he's based out of Wales. This is called No Regrets. And yeah, he signed up for our Connect group. I need to reach out to him actually. He said that he just wanted to um, you know, get some feedback on his tracks. And this one, he says, well, actually, we'll do the feedback after. So, yeah, this is called No Regrets from Dean Phillips.
Never mind what happened yesterday and all your problems, because, well, that's all gone. The only thing tonight that we have is us. So never mind what happened yesterday. All your problems, that's all gone. That's all gone. All your problems, gone. Gone.
Take me
like it?
Never mind what happened yesterday, and that's all gone. The only thing tonight that we have is us.
All right. Electrofans listening lounge session number 2. That was Dean Phillips, No Regrets. Thoughts on that one, guys?
My first comment is wow.
You like that one? Cool.
Yeah, that's for me it's a hit. I don't know about you. For me, it's a hit song. It's a if it goes on the radio, this can do very well.
Yeah.
It's very catchy. It's very well produced. A lot of things happening, but it still remains consistent. With this maybe slightly when the trumpet comes in, it's comes a bit unexpected. I would have announced it a bit earlier, maybe by some snippets or some reverse, so a
Yeah.
little bit of something to announce the trumpet, because when it comes a bit abruptly. But that's very minor thing. Otherwise, mixing the classic sounds and the modern processing is very well done. Mixing the synths with the guitar, the trumpet, the vocals, all this is very well done. There are many things happening, but it still have a very nice flow. It's there is no repetition in this. I mean, even when the vocals are repeated, everything is still different.
That's
It's
a
really
great point.
it's really a journey that you follow from start to end without. We always discover new things in a how long is it? 3 minutes something. So it's not very
Yeah.
long.
Yeah,
Which is the
3:43. Yeah, so it's
yeah,
not.
it's a good length for a pop song.
Yeah,
So for me, it's a plus. This one.
yeah, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, that's right up a Visor's alley right there. That
I
that
was
that
thinking
whole
that as
like,
I was playing that, man. This
yeah,
Jeff's gonna be probably maybe digging this. Yeah,
yeah, that the saxophone and the guitar solo there at the end, it's like, I mean, it doesn't sound exactly like this, but I mean, it just gives me a Beverly Hills Cop feel sometimes, you know what I mean? And
yep,
like, and that's, obviously Harold Faltermeyer was like, is one of my heroes really. So, but yeah, it's a really fun track. Like, I'm gonna listen. All this stuff I'm gonna listen to a lot more today. I want to hear that one on a better system for sure. Yeah.
sure, cool. Yeah, Lorna.
Uh, yeah, I absolutely loved it. I'm a sucker for a spoken word track anyway.
Yeah.
Mm,
But it really it sort of it took me well, it took me back to sort of like the golden sort of feel good 80s movie vibes. So,
Exactly.
then Kenny G came in and I was like, hey, it's Kenny G.
yeah,
Yeah.
And then you got a bit of I don't know, Mark Knopfler on the electric guitar, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's great too. And the vibe and the sentiment behind it, lots of really nice melodic elements. I also really I want to hear a techno version.
Mm.
I want to hear a techno version. I
Maybe
think it
that's
would,
that's your remix. Maybe.
yeah,
I could even hear a psy trance crazy enough, or
yeah,
techno
yeah.
trance. Yeah,
So like I think a techno version of that would be absolutely awesome. But I really liked it. And the bell sort of synth coming in, the
hmm
female vocal, the sort of question answer aspect, a really nice chord progression all the way through. Very nice musically, I thought. And but yeah, definitely a techno version. Can you imagine that in a club or a festival?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
can and I can't. Yeah, Felix.
Well,
Uh-oh.
the melodic.
Do we have a
I
dissenter?
was have to say that what their inspiration on the track is fine melodically. It has some melodic ideas there, but I don't want to sound harsh, but that
That's okay.
description really off-kiltering. This is not synthwave. This is technically more like old school trance, like fusion with synthwave sounds, which in a mixing perspective, it actually lacks a bit. It lacks the bass. The more old school and modern fusion of vocal treatment is fine, totally fine, but it lacks the sub bass. Some of these samples, like the guitar and also saxophone, it is nice, but it's slightly distorted on the top. I listened it on the back end, which is it kind of driving me a little bit off kiltering because of how the mixing makes. I mean, I don't mind the inspiration, and also in terms of genre-wise, the titling is not great. And I do agree that it needs some, like, maybe other versions can lift it up to even more better, I would say. So what Lorna said about maybe a techno remix, that could be an inspiration, that could be a possibility. And maybe stick to much more of a softer side of synthwave if they would like to call it like synthwave. Like the description said that it is inspired by the Midnight, and the Midnight
Yeah,
was very
I was just
great
gonna
on
say.
making a vibe like really down in the 80s, the soft glam vibe of electronic, which, to be honest, this track may not be fully like deliver that idea. The choice of like a much more hard-hitting kick rather than a much more softer kick, the lacking of sub bass maybe needs to be more fulfilled with a smoother bass to round it up. Yeah, something like that would make the track better, or even like as Lorna said, maybe other genre interpretations of it.
Yeah, I'm reading the liner notes from the artist Dean Phillips too on that. He said that again this track I guess was premiered May 12th, 2024. He said, "My new synthwave track, music inspired by the Midnight. This track has all the hallmarks of a nostalgic synthwave track." Yeah, I think that it's definitely kind of like idealized like synthwave, but yeah, it would be interesting to hear alternate takes on something like that, how that would go. Yeah.
Get
Hmm.
some stems. Get some
Yeah.
stems from him.
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna reach out to Dean and let him know that we dropped this, and of course chop up some vids of this meeting today too. And if he's on Instagram, etc., I'll tag him, and it'd be interesting to get his take. Yeah, yeah. I thought it was really like classic '80s retro vibe, and I thought sometimes when I hear that stuff, it's maybe a bit. I feel like it's a bit overdone, the synthwave thing, but I feel like he kind of nailed it, and I think it's got a fun vibe. I like
Yeah, it's fun.
the juxtaposition of the male versus the female. I think that was really cool, something kind of
Yeah.
different, kind of thing, like a little dialogue, maybe a question and answer thing, but the male versus female, that was cool.
I think
Yeah.
there might. I think maybe what Felix is also. I'm not trying to say what Felix is saying, but it's also like when it comes to something as specific as synthwave, there are very specific parameters that get used,
Hmm.
and he's not really using all those parameters, so it does kind of get thrown into sort of a no man's land a little bit. Um, but yeah, like what is he going for? You know, that's kind of like what I would wonder. But it sounds good. It sounds nice.
There is a bit like of a funky and jazzy kind of vibe to it too, not versus
That
like
horn,
the.
yeah.
I think maybe do you mean Jeff like some of the edgy, some of the other synthwave stuff being like more edgy? It doesn't really have that darker edge. It's more like a fun,
Right. Yeah.
feel good vibe. But I think it's yeah, it's a fun. And to JP's point too, I agree that you're not really wanting for like something new. It doesn't really go stale or repetitive all kind of all the way through. I think I agree with JP on that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it anyway.
Me too. Me too.
Me
Either
too.
way.
Yeah. Well, JP, you know what? I was thinking if we let's spin up your track maybe real quick too. Let me pull this up. Your
Oh, it's
latest one.
late.
If you what do you guys
It's
think? Or do you guys want to rap? We could rap.
Not that
well,
late.
I want.
Come on, JP. Come on.
Oh,
Play
We've
your
already
song, JP. Play your song.
Yeah, let's do it.
we've already had mine across the
Oh
coals.
no,
Come on, let's have yours too.
I'm desperately trying to watch the opening ceremony of the Paralympics, and
Oh,
which is right now.
You,
Or
you can watch that and we'll listen to your track. How's
Yeah.
Voila.
Are you on SoundCloud? Is this on SoundCloud, JP? Let me see. I don't. It's
What
not
track do
coming
you
up.
want? I don't even know what track you want to play.
Replicant. I'm not seeing
Ah,
that coming up.
Replicant.
Replicant.
Okay.
That's a great
Yeah.
track.
Um,
Oh, see, you've already got my feedback. I can go now.
JP
It
Launcher.
should, it
I
should
think
be
we all
there.
did
Yeah.
listen to it.
Let's see.
It is.
Well, it's probably on YouTube. Let's see. Yeah. Or Spotify.
It's on
Yeah.
Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Replicant
where I listened to it, I
Spotify.
think.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna keep you up, old timer, just for a few more minutes.
But I'm only half of Replicant because the
where-
other half is my friend Kashian. His name Alfredo, as we said
you know,
earlier.
it's on YouTube. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
So
Well, it
we'll
should
at
be.
least get the okay. So let me share my screen here real quick. So yeah, this is JP Launcheri and Kashian from Ibiza
No,
Replicant.
this not this one. This one is the remix.
Yeah, that's the one
You want?
I have pulled up. So let's maybe you can give this
Oh,
one.
you want to listen to the remix because
This
the
is the
remix has is not
you don't
the
want
remix.
us to play that one? Falguna
Oh, we
so
can, but the
much.
remix is very far from the original, as you already noticed.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's on
He had
Spotify here, yeah.
Okay. Um, okay. I thought, yeah, that's what came up. Um,
you
I
have the
guess
original mix on
Top
YouTube on
one.
the top.
The top one,
the top.
YouTube.
The first one, yeah. Very first.
Yeah.
Oh,
Top.
okay.
Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah,
Okay.
Lorna. Okay. JP Launcher, Kashian Replicants. Thanks, Lorna.
It wasn't me, it was JP.
yeah.
Whoever spotting that, yeah. All right, Electrofans Listening Lounge session number 2. Again, that was JP Lantieri and Cussions Replicant. Let's stop this advertisement here. Yeah, I want to play too. If you don't mind, TJP, real quick, just to see like the evolution, the other, because I had it up on the screen here. It's a really cool the other version of that Falguna Somraj. So I'm gonna share my screen again real quick. Just that'll be the last thing because I want everybody to check this out. It's a really cool transformation, really like a 180. So this is JP Lantieri Caustian Replicant Falguna Somraj remix. Check this one out. right. Electrofans Listening Lounge Session 2. That was JP Lancieri and the Falguna Somraj remix. I don't think that's the same track, JP, at all. I mean, there's no way. I mean, that's one of the
I,
biggest transformations of a remix. I
Yeah.
think the biggest I've ever heard, actually. I'm curious about that track and your thoughts on everything too, JP.
My thoughts? Well,
Yeah.
I think it's not a remix. I think it's another track, and he just
Yeah,
labeled it as our remix
I
because he
know.
did not know what to do for
Yeah.
this. I should not say that live, but but yeah, it's a cool track. I mean, but it's very too very. There's nothing common with the normally in a
Yeah.
remix. You should have at least one element that you can recognize from the original track. But this, I did not
Yeah.
find it in this remix.
I was just thinking I have to go back and re-listen. Yeah. But on the original, I'm curious too, like how did you go about like sorting out like which part that you would do and then which part you know that
That's the way we do collaboration in so
yeah,
we had
cautioned it.
we had several Zoom sessions.
Okay.
I can't remember who started which I think he started with the first idea. I can't remember actually. And then so during 1 hour we work a bit together. Let's do this, let's do that. Then is it you, Felix, who's doing this noise?
Yeah, I think so.
Ah, sorry. Yeah, then after one of us would take the track. So we are using the same software, which helps. We're both using Ableton Live, which helps. And we try to
Okay.
limit the number of plugins so that we have exactly the same setup.
Okay.
So he worked on something. Then we decided during our Zoom session that we would do this, that, and this modification. Then he would send it to me. I would work on it. Next session, we would listen to it. He said, okay, this I like, this I love, or you made a very good thing, but this I would remove, and this I would put it somewhere else. Then he
Hmm.
would take over, he would change, and we do a few back and forth like this. Every time we progress a little bit. We had also a rule that if there's something that we don't like that the other was doing, we just scrap it. We don't try to argue or whatever. We just, if I don't
Hmm.
like something he did, or if he doesn't like something I did, we just eliminate it. So we actually it went very quite flawless. I mean, we have a couple of change of ideas. Sometimes you go this way, then this way, then this way. But globally, it went very smooth with him. We the ideas were flowing one after the others. We are very well aligned. It's not always the case when you do collaborations, but in this,
No, no.
it,
Yeah.
yeah, in
That's
this case was
awesome. Yeah.
quite easily. Yeah.
So you kind of
So with that,
live.
so
Yeah.
JP with Ableton, is it similar to like everything else where you can just basically send a session over and as long as you guys have the same plugins, you guys can just like
Exactly.
work off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when if he sent me the session, I just open. Then I realized that he was using one plugin that I don't have. So I
Yeah.
I either have to get this plugin or to tell him to remove it. Or I mean, we have a couple of cases like this, but this
Yeah.
happens.
It's
We
inevitable.
try,
Yeah.
yeah. But some plugins are very common, like for example, Serum. Many
Yeah,
of
I've
us
heard of
have
them.
this one. Uh, so we use them there. Yeah, but already in Ableton, we can do already quite a lot
Yeah.
with the stock plugins. We have to
That's
use the
cool.
same version, of course,
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
and
What do you
then we
guys think?
can.
Sorry, the track, yeah, Jeff, the replicant track itself.
Oh man, that's like production. The production's crazy. It's just so good. It's just so even and crisp and just like, yeah, I could never pick that apart. Like yeah, the production quality is just incredible.
Yeah, I like that arpeggio.
Yeah.
Driving
There's
arpeggio. Yeah, that sets
a
the whole
lot of good
tone.
stuff in there, but as far as like, it's just really impressive as far as the quality. Quality's amazing.
And I think you're totally right, GP. That's just a totally different track. Yeah. The other guys, Falguna's take, that's just yeah. But
Alguna is the label's owner. It's from
okay.
India. It's a label from India.
That's a worldwide thing too. We got Paris, France, Ibiza, and India.
Yeah,
Of
that's
Yeah.
very cool.
course, the modern era. That's you know,
That's quite normal nowadays. This kind of
Yeah, it is.
things.
yeah, Yeah, Felix, your thoughts on that one? The original?
Not much to comment because I really do like the track. It's also on my alley, which the
Hmm.
progressive house style.
Okay.
Yeah, it's simply like that.
Yeah, melodic and the beat. Yeah, Lorna.
Yeah, I loved the track. I loved the first one. This is always a compliment, but I just wanted to get in front of the piano and put some
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
piano bits and some stuff over the top. So anything that makes me want to ad lib, I obviously really like. So yeah, I loved it. Great production, and I really love so the bass. I don't know what it's called. The bass sound, the dum 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 dum. I just that hit it for me big time, and the vocal, very subtle vocals in there. One thing I
Yeah,
want,
the vocals were my idea, this one, and
yeah,
the bass, it's called a rolling bass.
right.
It's quite common in progressive house,
Yeah,
melodic
I didn't
techno.
even notice any vocals. I have to listen to that back later. Wow.
just literally like little sprinkles of
Hmm.
magic dust in there.
Okay.
The thing I wondered about this, I might be wrong.
Hmm.
Um, the remix, I wonder
Hmm.
whether all he did was keep the structure, and then he took out your vocal and put in like an ethnic vocal, and he took out he put the strings in where you had some kind of synth. I wonder whether that's exactly what he did. He just changed the sound, but kept the structure. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
But no, it's not even the same key. So
No,
Really? I was gonna say that'd be the only. Geez, not
it's.
even.
no, I don't
Wow.
think I don't know. I
Wow.
think it's not the same key. No, no.
I mean,
Huh.
if you put those two tracks next to each other, no one in the world would know that
Yeah.
remix
I'm
of
gonna
the other.
listen back later. I know. I
Yeah,
just think they're.
that's why I'm pretty sure it's not a remix. I'm pretty sure he had this track in stock and he just put it as a remix just to get it released.
Well,
But
But
what I've
your name's
noticed
on
is,
it.
well, what I've noticed about remixing these days is contrary to other, like you would recognize the song. Anytime we've had remixes done for us, it's a completely different song.
Hmm.
Like our Oliver Nelson remix of
Yeah.
Fine Line,
Yeah.
it's a completely different song.
Yeah.
It just has her
Yeah.
vocals in it.
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
you still have one common thing that you can recognize from the original.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's just
That's
the
true.
vocal. That's it.
Yeah, okay. So that's still a remix. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd actually
But
love to get some Raj's Falaguna's take on that. That'd be interesting. But yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Um,
That's okay. He accepted our track to be released on his label. So
Yeah.
he did something. It's a bit strange what happened, but I mean, it's not. It's okay.
have you worked with that
Just
label before at
no,
all?
no, no, no. First
Okay.
time.
you can't say that something's strange and then not tell us the story.
Yeah, but I don't know what's the story. We should ask him, but I don't
Right.
dare asking him. But otherwise, he's a very nice guy to communicate with. I mean, when we ask whether Cassian, Alfredo, I mean, or we ask him some question, he responded quite quickly. So not all labels are like that. So it's
No,
already
that's
a good
true.
point.
Yeah, so I'm hearing. Yeah, I
Mm.
know. I know a little bit of it myself. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually going to be, guys. I'm thinking for next month. I don't know if we'll do a listening lounge session. If so, it might be a little bit abridged, but I'm thinking so. Electrofans Connect next month. I'm thinking the time to drop that would be, I don't know, September back to school. It's like indie versus self-release. I think maybe
Yeah.
mid of the month or so might be just the right time to do that for our topic. Yeah, and really maybe try to get like a panel of like label folks that may have to answer for themselves to JP's comments. Lorna, I think it sounds like you're very much white label. I mean, have you really released a
Yeah.
lot of your stuff on labels, or have you done mostly all your stuff self-released or?
So the first ever dance track I wrote was on a tiny little label, somebody that I knew from back in the day. And I've released a couple of tracks on Grind City Recordings, who are out of
Oh,
New
that's
Jersey.
right. I saw that. Yeah.
So the track actually that you featured in the first listening lounge, there's a slightly different remix that came out last Friday, and it's
Yeah, that's
on,
right.
on Beatport, like the homepage and stuff. So I'm hoping that it does quite well.
Wow.
It's kind of it's a progressive-y, Yeah, it's progressive house, but it's got slightly different drums, and slightly different. Yeah, my live drum fills have kind of been dumbed down a little bit.
I know we talked about that, and some people use the word weird, I think, in our session meeting 1B, but I was saying that I dug those drums, and Jeff liked them too as a drummer.
Yeah,
And there was one little significant news thing I was going to point out about Lorna's Awakening release too. She was saying that it was featured on BBC Introducing in the
Yeah,
UK and
yeah,
supported by global DJs, including Judge Jules in the UK and Ming in Brazil. So that's
that's awesome.
major, man. I mean, Judge Jules and BBC Introducing is about as big as you can get. So congrats. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes,
My last four releases have all been on BBC Introducing, which is quite promising.
Wow.
amazing.
That is amazing. Wow,
So
man.
yeah.
So
Hey
sorry,
Kevin, I hate sorry, I hate to be a party pooper, but
oh
I
no,
have got to get out.
no
Um,
worries. We've been going
I
for over
just yeah,
two
I
hours.
want to
Yeah.
say goodbye to everyone.
Oh yeah, yeah. Thanks a lot for
Yeah,
joining, Jeff, and yeah, thanks for staying. And we'll see you next
absolutely.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
appreciate it,
Okay.
man. Sounds
See you
good.
later.
Take care. Have a good one.
Bye.
See you next time.
You
Cheers.
too.
Yeah, bye bye.
Bye.
So, but yeah, so Lorna, you're saying, yeah, that this I saw, yeah, that release, and I saw too that you tagged me in Electrofans, and that one of the impetuses of the doing that new remix was because to improve like the mix. And yeah, I was telling Lorna JP that I didn't really hear a lot of the criticism, well, the constructive feedback before, but I checked out a little bit of your enhanced remix for that song. What was the name of that track again?
All we left behind.
All We Left
It's
Behind. Yeah, I'll have to do an A/B. Maybe
really
one of
not.
our next sessions we can do like a little A/B test again. Could kind of come back full circle to that. Yeah, if JP, I think JP's focused on the Paralympics at the moment. That's okay. We're gonna wrap
Yeah, he's
imminently. But
Paralympics. It's fine. No, I mean but really, we need to hear lots of other people's music and live music, new music, and you know, it'd
yeah,
be.
what do you guys think of like the mix? It seems like maybe the last couple, well, we've done this couple, last couple we've done two. I guess I've kind of, put in some synth wave, a lot of progressive house. Last time we did a techno, there really wasn't a techno this time. So maybe we can, I mean, maybe there's not a set thing. Maybe just kind of keep it on a rolling, floating thing. I try to always kind of shake it up a little bit. Couple of them maybe synth wave. Maybe we'll do a techno next time.
It
Yeah.
depends what submissions come in, right? It
Yeah,
depends
yeah.
what.
Well, that's a great point, Lauren. Yeah, exactly. And that's what we had. And we wanted to, again, UK represent. It's like half, 50% were from Wales, Brighton. And are you in Portsmouth? Whereabouts is Portsmouth?
Yeah, I'm in the middle of nowhere, but yeah, but I'm.
Okay. Are you actually in Wales too? Is that Wales or
No,
Portsmouth?
Wales is not. No,
Okay.
Wales is a country.
Okay.
It's next to England, but no, I'm on the south coast.
Okay. So is that near Brighton at all or
That
further?
it was an hour and a half away. Yeah.
Different, but on the coast. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
but
Okay.
cool. I mean, I have to say, I was talking to somebody, I think on Threads. Threads is a really nice place to be as a musician. I don't know if either of you have joined it, but
I've
oh,
heard that. I've been told that by one of Anthony Hutley, one of our Felix knows him from Australia and Japan. He's really keen and big on Threads. I've been getting some invitations to join Threads. I may
yeah,
have to. JP,
but
we should join Threads, I think.
you should all join. Everybody watching this should join Threads.
Maybe
It's
I
a really
will, yeah.
nice community. But Threads Musicians is great, and yeah, you'll find a nice tribe on there. It's a lot less judgmental and critical than other sort of social media platforms. But
Oh,
yeah,
because I was afraid it was too much like Twitter, so it's very different, very
it's not,
different.
no, it's nothing like Twitter.
Twitter
No,
is
no,
the
Okay.
no. Twitter
lowest
is,
of the low. Yeah, no.
I would
Nice,
say,
nice.
you have to type on Twitter and then duck.
Exactly. I know.
You're
Is
gonna
is
get
there
punched.
actually learn a thing called Threads musicians, or are you just saying musicians on Threads as a good?
It's a hashtag musicians of Threads.
Oh, there is.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like if you want to find somebody to collaborate with, go on Threads. Just say this is what I'm doing. I'm looking for a vocalist, or I'm looking for an electric guitar
Really?
player. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, that's the
It,
premise of Electrofans Connect is
That's what I wanted to
that's what we're
say.
so I have to get in there and I'm kind of like, oh my freaking God, another platform. But I'm not I won't do the TikTok, but maybe the TikTok. Sound like an old frog, but the threads, I may have to dive in there. Yeah, sounds like it's
yeah. I
worth it.
mean, it's part of Instagram, so
Yeah.
I think I like it. People post nice things on there, and it's all very positive and very, you know, everybody's very supportive of each other. It is not, horrible. So I would
Okay.
recommend it. And this, I'm not very good on social media, but I do like Threads. No, I've forgotten what I was going to say now, but it was something to do with Threads. Threads.
Sorry, I know we're talking about labels too, but I think for next month, yeah, that's going to be, and I'd like to get a mix of, and JP runs his own label, Flemsy, which has been a hiatus, which is maybe going to be coming back. And yeah, Felix is, you'd be great for this as well. I think you've probably done some of your own independent releases, but Felix is part of, co-owner of two different labels. So yeah, it'd be great to get your guys' take on that. And I'm sure we can line up some more indie producers too. We did a whole post where I interviewed like about six or seven, eight different producers on their takes versus their impressions on doing self-release versus label release. So I'll reach back out to those people, those folks, see if we can get them on line up for next month's meeting. Okay, well, maybe we should.
You can ask on Electrofans various portals, make a kind of say who would be keen on discussing.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
who have you released by your own, and would you be keen on discussing with labels who see the advantages and something like this? Yeah, but just post it on the various socials, Electrofans on Facebook and Instagram, and you might
sure.
have a couple of guys who respond.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the thing with social media is you never know. I mean, it could be one or two people, but yeah, Lorna Threads. I'm curious. Yeah, I mean, I think from what I heard too, that the engagement may be higher because it's still. I mean,
Mm.
Instagram is the biggest. I mean, if people were to ask me what's the single most important channel, I think a lot of folks would say Instagram, but it is kind of swollen and bloated too. So maybe Threads. It sounds like from what this guy Anthony Huntley has said too, it may have a lot more reach and engagement there because it's still have heard that. Yeah, I ought to check it out, at least give it a shot. And you're right, since on Instagram, it's probably like Facebook, pretty you can it's probably made it easier to use. So maybe they're doing like cross posting and stuff too. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've met a couple of really amazing artists on there that I'm doing some
Hmm.
collabs.
Oh,
So yeah, like really, really good. I'm really excited about them. So maybe in a future Electro Fans listening lounge, I can, showcase some of what we've created, all as a result of Threads.
Yeah, and I was gonna say too, another thing at some point, if I get the software maybe sorted, it would be cool to maybe do like like a simul live feed, like on simultaneously stream to like Instagram Live. Um, that's gonna do OBS is it called OBS Studio. Some of you guys may have heard of
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's one
Mhm.
thing. I had some progress setting that up, but I had like real issues with like I need to do some tweaks on that, but that might be a cool thing to do later too. Maybe I didn't give a ton of notice either. It'd be great. Maybe, well, four or five people is good too. But I think next month though, we may do a listening lounge, but I think it's time to do like an actual, like a think tank kind of topic,
Oh,
themed
yeah,
kind of centered,
with the team. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, meetup. So I think really indie versus,
Indie
self-releasing
versus
versus
label.
labels will be the thing
Okay,
to
okay.
do. And we're up to almost about 30 members now in the Connect forum. So that's still trying to drum that up. And I told somebody, Ariam, DJ from Tokyo yesterday, she's like, well, what could I do if I were to join there? And I told her I'm working on developing, I want to get more like promoters and like what am I trying to say? Venues, DJs kind of thing. So like venues looking for a DJ, DJs to find venues. So Lorna's saying that's in Thread. So okay, I'll do it. Screw it, I'll do it. I mean, it's a million things to do, but I'm gonna get in there and I'll set up an Electrofans on Threads and experiment. And I think it sounds pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
So
yeah.
okay, yeah, any last thoughts you guys before we wrap? I know. Thanks, you guys. I'm sorry to keep you from your Paralympics show, JP, and it's
It's too
really
late.
late for you.
The event is
Oh,
finished.
sorry. You can probably catch it on replays, or I'm sorry.
Of course, no problem.
But thank you guys so much.
I was
Yeah.
just teasing you.
Okay. But I was gonna say that I'm still tempted to hit that pause button, man, especially in those long. I'm not making that mistake again. It's kind of like grandma's house. You finger slap for grabbing the cookies early before dinner. I'm not gonna touch that cookie cabinet until the thing ends, until it's dinner time. So I won't make that mistake again. I get chastised for pausing a track that one time. So they really, a couple guys let me have that for that. And yeah, these producer guys really keep me on my toes too. These guys see a lot of the subtleties, the finer points that I don't always catch. I mean, I'm a pretty, critical listener, but so yeah, I can't thank you guys enough. All you guys, Laura and Felix and JP, for being here. And again, that's a wrap for Electrofans Listening Lounge session 2. And any last comments before we wrap up for the day, the
I've
evening?
loved, yeah, I've loved the variety of music. It's been great. Thank you for inviting me.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, Lauren. Yeah, next time, as I say, we may do like an A/B comparative breakdown analysis. I think that might be cool to do at some point too. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks so much again, you guys. And that's a wrap.
Okay.
And keep you in touch for next time. I hope you can make the label versus self-release meet up. And we'll see you on the flip side. Have a great night and a great day, guys. Take care.
Ciao.
See you next time. Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.